While trying to come up with my next 40k video, this happened.
Their legends were written across worlds and ages. Today, we celebrate them.
And one of those games that has always been an enigma to me is in that collection. I've seen the odd review about it, but this game has fallen into the void, outshadowed by a more successful sci-fi shooter. This is Warhammer Fire Warrior. Yeah, PlayStation yearned for its own Halo, and thus they got a 40k game. Even back when 40k was a much smaller franchise, it still had a universe full of aliens to fight as a space marine. Wait, why is it called Fire Warrior? Yeah, the box and the title of the video and everything, you know what a Fire Warrior is if you've played 40k. It's a Tau game. Tau back in the early 2000s were the newest faction, so it's likely GW wanted to promote the faction, much like how Soulstorm promotes Flyers. Please make Flyers usable in 11th. Obviously, as the self-proclaimed Halo killer, Fire Warrior didn't stop Halo, especially given that this wasn't when Halo was in the shitter. Kinda funny how big 40k has gotten and how far Halo has fallen. But enough wasting time, let's play the game and see what the deal is with Fire Warrior and why it couldn't stop the Master Chief. Loading into the game gave me those nostalgic vibes. You know, when the crushed up disclaimers and copyright text pop up, along with those classic publisher intros. Booting up the tutorial and yeah, it is an old FPS game. Who framed these photos? That will make sense, but who framed that? The Grand Ethereal. Framed like a fucking meme. The aiming also feels like a poor version of the auto-aim from Half-Life. At first I was okay with this, but silly old me should have known that once we were actually in the game, this was going to hurt. Finally, in the game, this ethereal gets kidnapped by the stealthiest marine known to man, or the most oblivious crowd of Tau in its small empire. I guess the sun was in their eyes that day. Hi! This obviously prompts a response from the Tau, and we as Kayas, yes, that Kayas, engage the Imperium on the battlefield. Once I dropped in, I was kind of baffled by these buildings. They don't exactly look very Imperium, you know. The Imperium aesthetic is usually gothic, and yeah, this doesn't look like that at all. Like, I know the Imperium isn't exactly sunshine and rainbows, but these structures fit more for the Orc and Chaos factions of the game. Now let's talk gameplay.
Incoming message.
Dropship has been destroyed.
It's certainly a shooter. At first I kind of thought I was overreacting with my movements, but it's actually the auto-aim being a bit quirky. The gun feels like it has a magnet on the end of it and will gravitate towards enemies. Unlike in Half-Life where the gun locks onto the target and allows you to shoot and move with ease. This also means that trying to aim away from the target will on occasion cause my aim to fly off to the sides. Guess the Tau still need to trial their auto-aim systems. Probably why they've been stuck at Ballistic Skill 4+ for eons. That was an explosive. Around each level there are weapons and health kits to pick up, standard boomer shooter stuff, but unlike say Doom, Bolt Gun or even the new Mouse PI, Fire Warrior doesn't use armor. Instead, Kayas has an energy shield like the Spartans of Halo, which is really weird to think about in the context of a Fire Warrior. You know, the baseline trooper. Again, the game is trying to be Halo. Kayas does have a health bar and certain things can directly pierce the shield to attack it. This appears to be explosions, melee attacks and snipers as far as I can tell. In terms of enemies, so far, we have the Guardsmen, appearing to be a mix of Mordians and Steel Legion. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Armed with the humble las guns, these are common enemies that don't take much to deal with. Except the sergeant, he literally tanks a volley of shots. The pulse rifle genuinely feels weak, even more than the las gun. I don't know why, but the las gun feels better, its projectiles feel faster as well. Yes, this weapon fires projectiles, which ironically makes it feel worse at longer ranges. Also, grenades just straight up suck.
Must have been the wind.
They work well as impact grenades, but the blaster's so small they don't even hit these guardsmen. Now you might be thinking, with a host of 40k weapons you'd think you'd be able to ditch the pulse rifle for a more potent weapon, but for whatever reason you can't swap out the pulse rifle, which is like the Master Chief being stuck with the assault rifle, and that weapon didn't suck to begin with. Anyway, throughout the level you need to find coloured keys to open doors to progress, which are often dropped by enemies. Fortunately so far the levels are very linear, so I'm not running around trying to find a key tucked away on a shelf. We have a boss fight with a Valkyrie gunship, which perfectly sums up the problem with flyers in the tabletop game. Check it off the thing there.
Well done.
And from this point on, the levels repeat a similar gameplay loop. Run around, shoot shit, move to the next location, etc. I'm just baffled that cheese... I've never thought about it, but cheese exists in the 40k universe. I've never thought for a second about cheese being in the 40k universe. After saving the Ethereal from an Inquisitor and one of his Space Marines, we return to the Tau Fleet and of course the Imperium send boarding parties. This is where the game starts to fall apart for me. Let's start positive. Instead of the Pulse Rifle we now got the Pulse Carbine. It feels better than the rifle and has a grenade launcher attachment which makes grenades more useful as a quick one-shot attack against enemies. But the level design is pissing me off. You see, there's this area where you have to plant a bomb on the Imperium breaching vessel and it has this awkwardly placed ladder. Well, two of them as well. Jesus. Fucking hell, I hate this segment. You survived?
Reducing winch speed to minimize debris damage.
I think he's glitched. You're my friend now.
Be on your guard.
So he's dead, but he's kind of glitched, so he doesn't know.
4, 3, 2,
Right,
1.
I'm on the Tau ship.
Detonation.
Oh my god, there we go, it actually worked.
Excellent work. That was the last of the boarding party. But there are
What?
still many
What?
Imperials on board.
What
so
the f-
be on your guard.
Oh, you've got to be joking me.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
We also find a melter gun. Okay, so melter guns are kinda weird when it comes to how they're depicted a lot of the time. They are either beams of molten death, or shotgun blasts of molten death. This game chooses the beam approach. While it does decimate enemies, it just feels like spraying guardsmen with a garden hose. I'm not saying it's weak, it just feels very light and has no punch behind the trigger. You know, like a shotgun chunk or the fucking bolt gun, but even the bolt gun in this game kind of feels weird. Then I got stuck. Oh, I'm stuck.
Imperial forces have counter-attacked, sending
Oh, I'm stuck.
reinforcements.
With the Tau and the Imperium beating the shit out of each other, the Ultramarines step in to bring a truce so that they can focus on the true threat. Gameplay is very much still run around and shoot. What do you expect? It's this game. Space Marines are bullet sponges as to be expected and can also bring the plasma gun, which just deletes everything it hits. Following an attempted truce, the Chaos Marines crash everything, having slowly been built up over the last 2 levels. Instead of the Pulse Carbine, the Ultramarines had a burst cannon in stock, which is just as potent. The Word Bearers, though, are a fucking pain to fight. They have an annoying habit of teleporting right in front of you and doing a lot of damage. The bolter they use is also inaccurate compared to the regular bolter, so trying to use it as a weapon is a bit of a pain in the ass. No wonder they needed 13 Black Crusades, Jesus Christ. In an interesting twist, the Chaos Forces attempt to cause a full-on war between the Tau and the Imperium, kidnapping the Imperial in order to do this, and throw him through a portal. Going into the portal instantly kills you, my mistake.
Tau.
Fuck, I gotta do all that again. Over the course of the last 2 hours, the game hasn't felt that great to play, honestly. I'm depressed, and the lack of backing music isn't helping the feel. What is shooting me? Where are these assholes? Yes, every level I've played so far has no background music, which is such a strange choice that makes the game feel even more unpolished. Continue the same repeating bollocks we've gone through, and oh my god, this last stretch of the game is fucking killing me. Let's talk Chaos enemies. The Chaos Marines are exactly like regular Marines, though some can spawn with missile launchers. Raptors are the worst enemy to fight because of the game's shit auto-aim system. Not to mention the railgun, undoubtedly a godsend of a weapon, but the Raptors are horrendous to lock on with it. Raptors move very quickly and the auto-aim can't keep up with them. This also doesn't help when the weapon straight up just phases through the enemies sometimes. I'm shooting right through him. Stop shooting through him! I shot him 3 times. And it just went over his head. There's the Obliterators, which are the tankiest enemies in the game and have all the weapons to fuck you over with, and were the bane of my existence in a later level. Chaos Sorcerers will straight up attack your health directly and can also teleport around you. Then there's the Chaos Dreadnought, which is somehow easier to deal with than the Obliterator. And then we have the Demon Prince, a true lord of terror. Except he is a puddle of piss in this game. Yeah, this bastard is really easy to kill to the point I fear raptors more. Fuck raptors, by the way. And as we finally get into the pit, I genuinely rage quit at this section. You have to place 4 charges in these different rooms, but the enemies spawn as you enter these. None of the rooms have cover and always contain a fucking raptor. Then there's the final room. There's an Obliterator in there. The fucker just destroys my health, and I can't kill him fast enough, while also dealing with this fucking lunatic running around. Really? What the fuck do I do in that tight corridor of bullshit? Oh my god, I'm gonna be stuck doing this over and over again. Come on, keep shooting. I can't fucking do this anymore. This is fucking garbage. It drove me fucking insane, and every time I died I had to redo all the 4 rooms again. After a quick break, I'm going to say skill issue on my end, because the burst cannon came in clutch for helping me clear those raptor assholes. And all of this for a shit final boss. Severus, in his human form, was more dangerous than the Lord of Change.
Case, your duty is fulfilled. Welcome home.
How did you get a ship in here? I'm so confused.
You surprise me, Tau. I shall take it from here.
Oh, okay.
The Imperium glassed the planet and we failed the whole point of being here, which was to save the Pog Ethereal. In the end, Adrius saved the day.
This right here is my favorite thing, ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Fire Warrior isn't great. Legit, the worst thing about Fire Warrior is the controls. Like, it's cool seeing Tau representation, but the game as a whole feels very janky. Not a single gun in this game feels like it has weight. Raptors exist, but as a whole, the game is far from the worst thing I've ever played, and I'm kinda glad it came back as part of a classic collection. Probably because I'm all for the restoration of all video game media, for obvious reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if there were people saying this game was genuinely a good time, but I can't say that myself. I wasn't having fun playing the game, but I did enjoy making a video, so, you know, there's that. It also wouldn't surprise me if this game did introduce people to the franchise, especially the Tau faction. And while we're talking about the Tau, I want to say that I don't hate the Tau like a lot of people do in this community. Apparently, I genuinely think they have a place in 40k. Well, maybe not 11th edition.
By crew, damn it.
And besides, they aren't my least favourite faction in the game. I can't wait to get dislike bombed for hating the Custodes as a whole. Overall, Fire Warrior came out, it went, and it slowly faded away. Thank you for watching the video. I always considered doing a Fire Warrior video on maybe an emulator in the past, but I've heard this game is notorious to run. So when the Classics Collection bounced onto the scene, it seemed like a perfect opportunity. Plus, it's another 40k video for the guys that enjoyed the last one. Seriously, 3,000 views? That's fucking nuts. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to keep up with my future content. Plus, hit that hype button if you're on mobile.
This isn't a request. I played Fire Warrior for you all.
But thank you all for watching to the end, and I will see you in the next video.